Hello, African sports fanatics. Welcome to another episode of the Safari Soccer Show. I'm your host, Yvonne Etta. Today, I have a guest who is, okay, I'm giving you my show today, Winford. Please just take over and do
Yes,
whatever you
Winford
want
is
with it.
okay.
Yeah, but then before
Yes,
we
yes.
start, just introduce yourself to the viewers and maybe give us a brief history of yourself, what you do. Maybe this is a football channel. Maybe if you have also played soccer before, just tell us.
Okay, that's great. Yeah. My name is Winford Kashiya, like you put it.
Yeah,
I'm a Zambian.
yeah.
Yes, so I'm currently the technical of Galaxy Football Consultants Group.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm an agent, a well-qualified agent from Zambia, Zambian FA. That I've got a coaching license
Okay.
from the Zambian FA, yes. So basically at Galaxy Football Consultants Group, what we do is it's just a football consulting firm, just like any other firm. So we do recruit or rather represent players from various clubs,
Okay.
even across Africa. So on top of that, we also do marketing for clubs and other businesses that want to come and partner, especially
Okay.
where is concerned. And then that we do at Galaxy Football Consultants Group is we also scout and nurture talents. So currently we have got a sister company called MC Galaxy Football Academy, just an academy where we nurture talent, and we have a team, a men male league team. Currently, it's participating in first Division 3.
Okay.
That's I think a fourth division, if I'm not mistaken, a fourth division from the top flight of Zambian football. So we've got a men male team that is participating in that, and currently we are on number 4 in the league. So we nurture talents through using the same academy, and we also have got a very good scouting network across Zambia. So right now we're trying to cast our net wider, especially when it comes to talent identification from East Africa. Like I told you, I think I've got a player from East Africa.
Yeah.
Is a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So that's what basically we do at Galaxy Football Consulting firm. It's an agency. In for lack of better term, I would say it's a sports agency firm. So we're basically into football.
Now, my last week guest was a football agent as well, but then he was not doing the match that you are doing. But then you have also told
Okay.
that you have connections across Africa and you nurture talent
Yes.
as well. So before, now that you're a football agent, did you undergo any course to become one?
Exactly, definitely. You know, for you to become an agent, it's not just a matter of start calling yourself an agent. You have to be licensed from the current FA. So I actually did my intermediate course with Football Association of Zambia, and I passed, and I was given a license.
Okay.
Though it's renewable, every after 1 year you have to renew it. So I've got a license, and like I put it, I also have a license in football. A foundation that's the first D. Those are the two things that I have in football. But when it comes to playing, yeah, I didn't play football, not at that level. You know, it's just that football where maybe you're at a school, you're a student. That's social football. Let me just say social football. I didn't play football at the highest level, but all you know, in there as got a number of players now who are currently playing in Zambian football, especially with these big clubs.
I don't know if it's my internet which is unstable, or maybe I don't know if it's yours.
I think it's my internet. Yeah, you know. Anyway, we've got such challenges in Zambia, Yvonne.
How is Zambia? Because I feel that
Yeah.
Zambia has a lot of exposure. It's, because I think
No, I think
your league games are all
Kenya is
over.
better.
Your league games are all over, are
Yes.
broadcasted all over. But then Kenyan league, I don't know how to put it. So I think you guys have a lot of exposure more than us, considering
Yes. Yeah.
the league. Forget about everything else. We're talking about football.
Yes. Yeah. Considering the league, I think Zambian football's got a better, an upper advantage when compared to Kenyan league. Because when we look at that, us we are covered by Super Sport, and that's not the case that is in Kenya. And the other thing is our teams sometimes they do when it comes to content. So we've got that exposure, and the other thing that I think I've seen in Zambian football that is improving is administration wise.
Okay.
You know, there's Yes, a lot has taken place in terms of administration. So that's why we've seen even some companies are coming on board to start sponsoring Zambian football. I think just a week ago, we had ABSA. We had ABSA Cup. It's a tournament that's sponsored by ABSA Bank, and it was the first of its kind in such a way that they pumped in a lot of money. It should be about 3.5 million kwacha. I think in dollars it's I know when I convert, I think I'm going to talk. So basically, because of good administration, I think we've started seeing such things coming into Zambian football. When you look at even the sponsorship packages and everything, I think the other thing that is going to put Zambian football on the map is the case, because currently they're trying to drink the league from the FA. Like when you look at our friends in Europe, for example, English Premier League, the EPO is independent from the English FA. So that's what they're trying to do in Zambia. And I know that is going to put our Zambian football on another level. So, I think I can agree with what you are saying. Zambian football is better than Kenyan league when it comes to exposure. But with talent, I think we are just more like on the same page, because I've seen there a good number of players from Kenya, and some of them have dominated Zambian Super League. You talk of this guy from Zesco United, Wele. You talk of Muhammad. Yes, you talk of Musa Muhammad, Duncan Otieno.
Yeah.
There's also this guy who just left, I think, in Absa Stars. He was, I think, Timothy Otieno.
Yeah.
Timothy Otieno, yes.
Yeah.
So when you look at, I think when it comes to talent, we are not that much better than Kenya. We're just on the same level, but I think our league is just good when it comes to coverage, like I put it, administration and money. There is money in Zambian Super League.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you, because most of the Kenyan players leave Kenya to Zambia to play. So I think money is also one of the factors that make the Zambian Super League better than Kenyan league.
Yeah, exactly, Yvonne. Now, because there is quite, I think, some big monies in the Zambian Super League. That's why we've seen a lot of players.
Invite me over so that I can also have this money.
I'm actually inviting you. You should visit Zambia one day. I think we're looking forward to that.
Because I also need money.
Yes, you also need one. I think we are going to find you a club.
Inshallah. But then you also told me that you have connections across Africa. But then
yes,
I have been trying to find parts on Dhaka to come to my show.
To your show, parts on Dhaka.
Yeah, but then he has been blue ticking me. So if you find time, call him. Tell him.
Okay, no, definitely. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. You can also invite him on your show. So no problem. I don't know the time that you'll be free, or the time that you're going to arrange the show with him.
No, I'll do the show according to his time, because you see, he's the boss here. So I won't mind him, even if he tells me at night, no problem.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, but now let's move forward. Now tell me something about you had introduced your company, and I think you had not gone into details. What you do and the factors that you consider for one to become part of your company.
Yes.
Yeah. Please take us
through. Like I put it, Yvonne. So Galaxy Football Consultancy Group, like I put it, it's just a sports consulting firm. So it was founded in 2019, and basically right now we are into football as a company. So apart from football, we also do marketing, especially for companies that want to come on board when it comes to football. So we've done a lot of a number of deals with a lot of Zambian Super League teams. So currently we are working on a deal. I think once the Botswana League comes, because by the way, the Botswana League is on hold because of COVID-19. We are working on a transfer. A certain player is going to move from Zambia, and I can even mention the guy. The guy is Karimina. He's playing currently Division 1 in Zambian football, provincial Division 1. So that's, I think, the third. The top is going to Botswana, and I was just waiting for the Botswanan government to allow the football to go ahead. So all in all, I think that's what basically we do. But we're also into marketing, where we do assist companies that wants to to increase their visibility, not only on social media, but even offline. So we are currently participating with a number of companies here in Zambia, local companies that are interested in football, where they can do their marketing. So those are the most we do. On top of that, we've got also some coaches that we've got coaches who are in the National League, and one currently is about to have a team from the Zambian Super League. So I think just a week from now, let me just say 3 days from now, we are going to hear a certain Zambian Super League is going to sign our client, and that's a coach, a very big coach in Zambian football. So we also represent coaches apart from players as a company.
Mm-hmm. So you also cover coaches across Africa.
But you know, they want to come to Zambia. So we've got a number of coaches from DRC as well as Nigeria. But you know, most of them, they want to come to Zambia because of the same thing you mentioned. Maybe I don't know if it's money, but most of them, that's what they are trying.
Of course, money.
Yes, but most of them, that's what they are trying now to do. But basically, we also have got some links and coaches who are not currently in Africa. Like I put it, we've got a coach who is in Botswana. It's on that the league is on hold. But once the league, I think, comes back, we are going to do a business that I just mentioned.
Okay, our show today was overall football. We are not measuring on a thing. So let me ask you some about. I want to ask you about World Cup Warrior.
World Cup Warrior, yes, no problem.
Yeah, I had seen conversations online, mostly by Zambians, complaining about him. If he was a Congolese or a Zambian, but then I made to understand that he's he's from Congo, right?
Yes, he's from Congo, DRC, yes.
But then what happened? Because I think there's a time he was to play for the Zambian, for the Chipolopolo, but then he did not. What happened? But then now he's called to play for the Congo national team.
National team.
Yeah,
Yvonne, like you put it, you know, there is a issue of intermarriages. So according to him, I think he even mentioned to say the mother is from Zambia and the father is from DRC.
Yeah.
That's according to him. But there are also some other news that came on the, I think, on the scene where he also talked about some of the Zambians FA administrators forced him to become a Zambian. But I think when you look at that issue, for me, it's a matter of just making him where he's comfortable, because the guy came openly to say, I'm Zambian. So the Zambian FA, I think, if I'm not mistaken, called him it should be in 2014, under Chicken George Rwandamina. That time was the one who was in charge of the Chipolopolo. Then issues came on, and he couldn't continue with his dream representing the mother Zambia. But when you look at that, for me, there are a lot of players who have got that access. Some are born in Zambia from Congolese, maybe parents. But, you know, in football, that happens. And when you look at him, what I think for me is someone who has really worked hard for his name. When you just look at the way he started football, I'm actually, I've encountered and interacted with him, I think, for some time, and I'm a friend to his agent. So when you look at him, for me, someone I can say is hard work.
Yeah, he is.
The way he just tracks.
My friend as well. He's a hard worker.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a hard worker. So all in all, I think I'm answering your question on what happened. For me, I think the guy wanted to present Zambia at first. Then, you know, because of the same misunderstandings that came on, I think he changed his mind, and that's how he's even now decided to represent DRC. But you know, he was Zambian. For that, I think that's what I can say. He was Zambian because he was he was having the green national registration card of Zambia. So basically, that's one thing that we used to recognize someone if they are Zambian. They have to have, if it's in Kenya, you have to have the Kenyan. I don't know if it's
ID.
a Kenyan national ID. Yes, a national ID. You get my point. So he had that. So for me, he was Zambian, but it's on that there was some misunderstanding that came, I think, on between him and these football administrators. And for me, that really more like pushed him to forget about Zambia. And that's how today he's even representing DRC, like you put it. But there are a lot of players who are like him in Zambia. They have got Zambian IDs, Zambian maybe passports, and some are even Zambians because they have stayed in Zambia. But for me, I was Zambian. That because the same thing that came on the scene, that's why he decided to switch his allegiance to DRC.
Because, but also Tito Okello is a Ugandan, but then he's representing South Sudan right now.
Yeah, you get the point.
Yeah. Okay. Quite unfortunate. But I think Zambian fans are crying right now because
Yeah, whereas
uh-huh.
when you look at that, Yvonne, I can't lie. Zambian fans are crying. It's because he's someone who has worked hard, and when you see the way he's performing, especially in the Egyptian league, that's one of the best leagues in Africa. He's
Yeah.
doing wonders. So that's why most of the Zambian fans are crying for him. And when you look at that, Zambian football, we don't have a number of good strikers apart from maybe from Patson Daka, because he's someone in the country that is lining on. A lot of players are not in good form this season, so that's why a lot of fans are crying. And fans always cry because they want someone who can bang goals. And next week on Thursday, Zambia is playing against Algeria right here in Lusaka at National Heroes Stadium. So that's why they are crying for his name. But I think it's bad. We've already missed him. And the other day, I think I was asking his friend that when they visited Egypt in Ghana Football Club, and he was telling them to say, me, I'm still Zambian, and Zambia is still my second home. So Zambia, that has made him to be the way he is today. So he can't forget about Zambia, like he was telling his friend. But I can't even disagree. Walter is a good player, and it can be good to have in our national team colors. But he sent his mind, and let's just forget about him as Zambians, and let's try to rely on the strikers that we have currently.
No, don't forget about him.
And I know Yvonne.
When I made the post, I said you'll be taking over my show, but maybe some people may not wondering why am I interviewing you. So just feel free to ask me questions as well.
Yeah. Maybe the question that I would ask Yvonne is, do you have such cases in Kenya where maybe you've got players who are born from apart from European players? Because I know of a certain player who was born in Sweden, should be Sweden, is Kenyan.
Yeah.
Apart from maybe just within Africa, do you have such cases?
I have never heard of any Kenyan going to play for another country. I only see them, the other Kenyan players born or raised in other countries come to play for the Kenyan flag, but then the vice versa has not happened.
Oh, okay. What of Divock Origi, the striker for Liverpool?
I think Divock, I think, wanted to change his nationality, but then it didn't go through. Yeah.
He wanted to switch to Kenya.
He wanted to switch from Kenya to, I don't know, I've just forgotten the name. I think it's Norway.
Belgium.
I think Norway.
Belgium.
No, Divock Origi. Okay. I was confusing Divock and, but Divock Origi is the goalkeeper. You see,
yes, the former goalkeeper.
Yeah, the former goalkeeper. He was in Norway for some time, and I think he also got a club. I think some days ago I saw it in the news that he had signed for another club.
Yes.
But he wanted to change his nationality as well. Apart from his brother who was playing for Belgium.
Oh, yes.
No, Divock is the one who was playing for Belgium, but then Arnold Origi is the goalkeeper. Arnold Origi is the goalkeeper. Yeah, I wanted to change to Norway, I think so.
Yeah. Yes, I know. I get that. Such are the cases that I think that we have in Africa. But by Yvonne, we are one, and a player can only represent a country where he's comfortable.
Yeah.
So that's why I think for me, with the case of Walter Wadia, and that's the case that Zambia and football has experienced. I think even I think about maybe some good number of years ago, there was even another case like that. And, a player even played for Zambia. We just hear stories. Some of us were not even maybe that big or born by then. Currently, the guy was coaching a certain team in Zambia. Yeah, he's Papa Kamwashi. He was coaching a certain team right here in Zambia. It's in Division 1 called Kashkish Warriors. Maybe you've heard of the team, the brother to Moisi Katumbi of TP Mazembe, the one who owns that team. So he played for Zambia, I think, in a friendly game against South Africa. Then he went back to Congo and he changed his name. I don't know the name that he used in DRC, and he also resurfaced, and it should be in 2002 AFCON qualifier AFCON. He played against Zambia. So we've got such cases in Zambia. But one thing I think that I know that motivates our players to do that is a way of, for lack of a better term, I would say, is a way of seeing them where they can survive. You know, for them, it's more like they can use any formation, any formula, as long as they can survive and come on the scene. So basically, that's what happens. But with the case of water, well, it's not the first thing that to happen in Zambian football.
Okay, but I also in Kenya, I think it's a matter of a player knowing his worth, because we hear most of the Harambee Stars players will be got to camp, but then there are no allowances.
Yes.
So what will you do? You represent a country that value you. You know?
But yeah, exactly. The country that value you. That's right. That's what happens, and usually that was the case with Ottawa. So the other thing I wanted to find out, Yvonne, is what players do you attract as Kenyans in the Kenyan Super League from other countries?
You know, right now, what I can say
who
about
comes to play? Who comes to play? Because right now you told me that you are watching. It should be Nairobi
City.
This is yes, this is Tusker. So I'm asking about from other countries who comes to play their trade in Kenya.
You see, I don't know how what a club sees in a player to sign him. But then the other time we were posting Gor Mahia club chairman, and then I asked him, how do you sign? What factors or what do you consider while signing a player? Then he told me, okay,
yes,
Gor Mahia being a bigger club, it looks at it finds players who are currently performing, players who are on form, players who already have bigger.
Who are in form, yes.
Okay, so that's what Gor Mahia does. But
yes.
then these are the clubs. There is also a club that nurtures talent. It only signs the youth, then the youth shows their talent. But then you also get the youth show. I think also youth over here, they are good enough. Some even earn a national team call-up just from the showcasing what they have, which I think is a good thing, because it's not a matter of recycling the overused players. That's what if that's a better word, I hope it's not an offensive one, because I think there is a time we should.
I know it's not an offensive one.
Yeah, we should live for the youth to also showcase what they have.
But they have, yes. And I think there is a certain Brazilian player who was signed for Gor Mahia. I don't know if you're aware about that.
Yeah, he has only scored one goal.
A certain Brazilian player.
Yeah.
He just scored one goal.
He has only scored a goal.
Yeah. Anyway, we're yet to see a lot from him. I think just him coming from Brazil. Fans, I think, expect a lot from him. You know, Brazil is a footballing country.
This is not the first Brazilian to be signed by Gor Mahia. There is one who was signed but never made it to the pitch.
He's not the first one.
He's not the first one. That is why Gor Mahia fans are always asking what criteria is used to sign these players.
These players, yeah. No, basically that's good. I think even in Zambia there was a time when Osaka Dynamos, I think, assigned a certain Brazilian player, but it didn't have an impact on the Zambian Super League, and I don't know where he's about this time. I watched him a couple of I think a number of games. He wasn't that bad, but you know, a pleasure always come from fans because someone is coming from Brazil. So I think yes. So even in Zambia, I think for me, if I'm not mistaken, he was the first Brazilian player in the Zambia. Then Yvonne. Then the other thing I wanted to find out about Kenyan football is how is the youth grassroots management when it comes to football? How is it in Kenya?
I lost you. Please repeat your question.
Okay, thank you. I was asking, I wanted to find out how is grassroots football and talent management in Kenya?
Do you know what? Sometime last year, before Corona happened last year. So a year before, in 2019, we had a league called the Super 8 tournament, Super 8 League. So Super 8 League was basically it was basically grassroots football. And I had a team which was playing the Super 8.
Grassroots, okay.
Yeah. But then I think in Kenya, there is a lot of politics going on. Okay, I don't know.
And
how.
the same politics are more like interfering in football.
Yeah, interfering with football, and that's why.
Yes, go ahead. Yes.
The Super 8 League, it paused. It has paused for some time now because it has not been there since last year. So you see, we had to register our players back to playing FCF County League, which has an impact, but it has not so much impact compared to the Super 8 grassroots league that the players were playing.
Grassroots.
I think politics divides us, and it damages a lot of talent over here.
It damages a lot of talent. Yeah, outside that's that's one thing that I think hinders development in Africa when it comes to football.
Yeah.
But in Zambia, that's not the case. I can't say that there's too much. There's even no interference. But in Zambia, what something that has to do, I think it was across Africa from the second Airtel Rising Stars. I don't know if you remember, some 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the likes of Patson Daka, I think we're talking about him, Kimwepu, Fashion. That's how they are even discovered. So I think the current FA has introduced in Zambian football the under 16 youth league. So currently, we've got 10 provinces here in Zambia. So it's taking place in Lusaka and the other province are called Copper Belt. So they are planning on how they are going to take this league to these other provinces. I think 6 provinces are remaining. And for me, I think that's something that I'm more like interested in, something that is going to unearth a lot of talents in Zambia. There are a lot of things, especially from rural parts of Zambia, not a situation whereby we just concentrate on these talents which are just in towns like here in Lusaka and other cities. But I think once that is done, and I know our FA is working hard, I think we expect you guys as Kenyans to see more of Patson Dakas, the Mwepus, and the other guys. So expect such talents. I think that's a good move that our FA I think is going. And the other thing is they have also made sure that the second division from the Zambian Super League, we call it Eden National League University. So they have also made sure that it's strong because they have found a sponsor. A certain university is pumping in some money, and it's become competitive. So even when we were chatting, I think that was around maybe 12 p.m. somewhere.
Okay.
I was watching one of these the same games. I think between a team from Kabwe. It even played the Super League before, Kaisa and Police College. I think even from that league, we are going to see a lot of talents are going to be unearthed because it's something that is that is coming from all parts of Zambia, because we've got teams even from other provinces, not only in Lusaka and Copper Belt province. So all in all, I think those are some of the ways our current FA are working on to make sure that we've got the best in terms of talents.
I think also here we have also had the Airtel Rising and Coca-Cola, and then we also have we have the Safaricom sponsored tournament as well.
Safaricom.
Yeah, but
it was Safaricom also sponsored some.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm asking Safaricom also, because I know Safaricom as a company, it also sponsors a certain tournament.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, that's good.
Sponsored. But then last year, I think did it happen last year? I think Corona messed up everything.
Corona messed up everything, Yvonne. He messed up everything.
But then this kind of tournaments have also given us such as Eriko Uma, who played for Gor Mahia and I went to, I think, Europe. It has given us a lot of
He played for Gor Mahia.
Yeah.
No, that's even great. So what about the situation when it comes to discover talents from schools? What I mean by saying schools, maybe secondary schools, high schools, basic schools. How is it in Kenya? Is football, sports still active? Or
it is
the other way around?
Actually, talking about Eriko Uma, he was spotted during school football tournaments, and the current Football Kenya Federation is in partnership with some of the secondary schools here in Kenya to nurture the talent.
Okay, that's good.
Center of excellence for football.
Football, no, that's good because in Zambia, I think when it comes to sports in schools,
Mm-hmm.
it's not up to the standard like the way it used to be. Because
Okay.
I don't know whatever maybe the Ministry of Education has done, but I can testify to say that because we are not seeing a lot when it comes to that. There are not a lot of sports that are taking place. And for me, as a football agent, as someone who is into football, I feel that is also impacting the growth of Zambian football. Like we put it, most of the talents are discovered in schools. So basically, these guys who are in schools, maybe secondary schools, basic schools, they're not given such a platform for them to showcase their talents. That's why we are not having a lot of talents that discovered from secondary schools. But I know maybe in the next maybe 3 4 years to come, I think something should be done because I've seen a number of even grounds in schools just inactive. You can't even see anything taking place. But that has impacted, I think, a lot, and it has got a negative impact on the growth of Zambian football. And I'm happy to hear that in Kenya, it's not the case. The sport is still competitive. But all you know, in Zambia, I think that's not something that is up to the standard when it comes to football in schools.
Okay, talking about football in schools not being competitive, what other problems do you guys experience in Zambia? Because you guys have money. I think money is in Zambia, a lot of money.
Yes, there is money in Zambian football. Yes, on
No,
that
but,
one, Yvonne, I can't even disagree.
but then here in Kenya, here in
That's why
Kenya,
you need to visit Zambia.
I will, and I hope I will come back with a lot of money as well. All right, I
Don't
can
worry,
change
don't
my city.
worry, don't worry, don't worry.
We're talking about
Yes,
Kenyan
go ahead.
clubs. Kenyan clubs mostly are have financial challenges apart from the
Yes,
club sponsored by companies. That's the like of Tusker Football Club,
yes,
KCB, and then few
yes.
who are owned by specific people.
People, yes.
What challenges apart from I think the youth not being let me say apart from you guys not measuring on the grassroots football so much, what other challenges do you have in Zambia?
Yeah, like you put it, for most of the Zambian clubs, I think financial challenges are everywhere. I think even in Europe, I think even in Europe, a lot of clubs do face that. So even in Zambia, a lot of clubs are facing challenges, and that's why you are into football. You've heard of some stories where players have even resorted to report some clubs to FIFA.
Yeah.
Even Shakava, I think when he was at Incana,
Mm.
something like that came out. A lot of players. So I think financial challenges just affect almost every club.
Mm.
But the good part about Zambian teams is that most of these teams now are more like in Ghana. This is a team that is as a sponsor in the name of the mine. So when the economy stopped performing very well when it comes to copper prices, even the finances of the club has to go down. So one thing I've seen about Zambian football is a lot of clubs have realized to say not only to depend on a source sponsor. So they have started some they have started even doing what we can call maybe sustenance. A lot of I know who are doing in business. Some they have even gone into business like maybe marketing or even farming. I know quite a number of clubs who are into farming. So I think that's one thing that they're trying now to avoid for them to find themselves in those shoes. Then the other challenge I think that we face in Zambia, apart from financial challenges, I think it's just about talent identification. Like you put it, for the past 8 years, we've got quite a number of good foreign players who have come to Zambia, and that raised a lot of complaints from fans, even football administrators. So it's a situation whereby if you give an opportunity to a local player, they are not performing up to the way, maybe up to the standard compared to the foreign players is going to perform. So that's also another challenge. I think a lot of Zambian clubs haven't invested a lot in scouting. That's where I was going. I don't know if that is the case in Kenya, but in Zambia, we don't have a lot of scouts, and that has affected a lot of Zambian teams. It's a situation whereby some clubs, they have even ended up buying players who are not even that good. This time there's YouTube. So maybe an agent, I can just go to a club, I can just come to Yvonne and say, look at this clip, this player is good and good. Then you buy that player, and when you see that player on the pitch of play, it's not something that you even maybe you've been blessed with. So scouting, I think, is one thing that a lot of Zambian players haven't realized, and they have not invested a lot in that. Then the other thing I think that they have not done very well is marketing. We are still, you know, I'm into football, and I know this. We are still primitive when it comes to marketing. The Zambian clubs haven't realized that through marketing you can even get some money.
Yeah.
Maybe from like this time under COVID-19, you know, I don't know if that's the case in Kenya. Government is not allowing fans to go into the stadiums to watch football. So as a club, I think it's time then now you realize to say, okay, let's try by all means now to come up with something that is going to benefit us as well as our fans. Maybe you start maybe beaming live your matches. This time there is too much that is going on social media. You can start beaming your games on Facebook. Then if you want someone to access that, they pay something. I don't know if you're getting my point.
Yes, I do.
They pay something for them maybe to watch a game between Ankara versus Power Dynamos. Since there are no fans who are allowed to go into the stadium, they can start doing that. So that's also another area I think that Zambian clubs, Zambian football is lagging behind marketing. We haven't done so much. And when you look at our friends in South Africa, they have done that in a very good way. The other thing I think is branding. You know, this is why most of the clubs are facing a lot of challenges in Zambia, because you can't invite, you can't attract, you can't attract the best sponsor once your club is not branded in a good way. I don't know if you're getting what I mean. You know, for a sponsor to come on board and sponsor you, Yvonne, they have to be sure of what they're getting into. Most of these sponsors, they want to assert themselves with greatness. So I think that's also another challenge Zambian clubs are facing. They have not done, so there are quite a number of clubs who are doing well in branding, but it's not up to the standard. A lot of Zambian clubs have not realized that's the way to go. When you look at clubs like, let me just give an example maybe of maybe Chelsea, because they have branded themselves. I know it's a big club, they've got money. No sponsor can say no to come on board and sponsor them. So that's another challenge Zambian clubs are facing. I think is branding. We haven't realized that it's something that can attract a lot of our sponsors. And that I think attract good talents. That's why we've seen maybe clubs like in Ghana, because it's a brand on its own. They're able to attract good players like, I like this guy, is Kenyan, Duke. You know Duke? Yeah, Abuya, a very good midfielder. He's at Ghana, he's Kenyan as well. So yeah, it's because the club has branded in such a way that no player can so know to join them. But you know, those are some of the challenges Zambian clubs are facing. I think apart from the financial marshal, it's scouting, marketing, branding. I think for me, these are some of the challenges that I can point at.
But then talking about players, because most of the players always languish in poverty after their career. Do you guys have any other programs that maybe you teach the players that football is a short-term career, so you should at least find something to invest in?
A very good point, Yvonne, and it's good you've even made me to tackle it. You know, it's one of the things that we are doing at Galaxy Football Consultants. We are also into capital market management. You know, most of our players, they haven't realized that football is a short-term career. You know, they are making a lot of money, but just after some good number of years, 10, 15 years down, they are languishing in poverty, like you put it. So that's the case. So, and one thing I can tell you, Yvonne, is this is not only happening in Zambia. I know for a certain story in South Africa, a certain South African player who played for Kaizer Chiefs is still languishing in poverty, and the story came out even on social media, even in newspapers. So it's bad that our players haven't realized. Yes, you even know the story. You even know that's even good. And I am sure you even know the player, because he's one of the famous South African players. Almost everyone knows him who follows football. So I think that's what we're trying to do at the Galaxy Football Consultants Group. We're trying to educate our players on how they can manage their finances. You know, most of them, they just know maybe investing money, maybe in one or two investments. So I know for a certain program, I think through Barclays, now it's called ABSA. Some clubs, yes, they organize this. I think a topic whereby they were teaching players on how they can manage their finances, even investing. So when you look at that, I think we realize as Galaxy Football Consultants to say this is an opportunity where we start teaching our players. So for us, we're not just trying to teach our players on how the best they can manage their finances. We're also trying to show them on how they can invest. So we've got a good number of platforms where they can invest their money. For example, there's real estate. You know, real estate is a business that is always on the rise in the world. So most of our players who've done that, and it's good that they received the information with both ends. And the other thing is also to come up with, to invest in themselves. What I mean by saying that is school. It's bad. Most of the players would find that even when they retire, they don't even have a coaching badge. I don't know if you're getting my point.
Yeah.
They don't even have a coaching badge. So we're trying to teach them, and even in school, it may not be necessarily going to university, to a secondary school, but even doing these courses that has to do with football. There is coaching, there is like maybe football intermediary. So those are the things that we're trying to do. But I haven't seen a lot, I think, in Zambia that are doing that. And I know maybe 3-4 years to come, some companies try to come on board. Yeah. Then the other thing that we're working on as a Galaxy Football Consultants Group is we're trying to introduce a mutual fund for players, whereby maybe once they retire, they can get a package. I don't know if you are getting my point or what I mean. Mm-hmm. So we are trying to organize that. So currently we are engaging a certain pension scheme authority in Zambia, a private one, where we want our players to be contributing something at the end of the month. If it's maybe 2% from their salaries, maybe 1% from their salary, so that at the end of the day, once they retire, they can get something from that, like a pension, like someone who was working maybe in government. So that's what we're trying to do. Yeah. Yes. And I think come next week, we are signing that MOU with a certain private pension scheme. And our players, I think, have received that information with both hands. But we'll try also to give this platform even to other players who are not even part of us. As long as they have welcomed it, we can do that. So, I think it's just high time, I think, as people in football, even FAs, football administrators, try to come up with something that can help our players to invest their money. Like we put football is a short-term career. Today may be earning millions. Tomorrow you won't be earning such money. So that's that's what we're trying to do. I think as Galaxy Football Consultants. I don't know if that is the case in Kenya. I don't know, Yvonne. I don't know if that's the case in Kenya, or maybe if you've got such instances where a player maybe was up there, then today they are languishing in poverty, for the lack of a better term.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing here, but then they learn daily. So hopefully,
yes,
in the years to come, it will reduce. The incident will not.
The only way we can tackle that problem is not just by maybe advising them, is by, how can I put it? Is by coming up with certain initiatives on how they can run that. Maybe a mutual fund or even an investment to say, okay, do this. Because, it's not just a matter of maybe building a house or buying a car. That's not an investment. And mostly, I think, as football administrators, agents, we all have to encourage our players even to invest in their career, especially when it comes to school. I know quite a number of players in Zambian Super League. They have done their bachelor's degrees from the well-recognized institutions, and they are playing good football. You follow Zambian football, the NAPSA Stars Football Club captain.
Yeah.
They're currently participating in CAF. They are in Egypt. On Wednesday they drew against the JSK of Algeria. The guy called Dixon Chang is a public health expert. I think he graduated from UNZA, University of Zambia. It should be in 2015. So, he's someone who's got a side hustle on there, and like he's got school. So even when he retires from football, I think he's going to continue working in government, if that is the case. So that's what we should try by all means to encourage our players. If that is possible, if they have ended school, let's encourage them to continue investing in their career. But some of them rather, they haven't gone that far in terms of school. We can try to give them a platform where they can invest in their monies.
I think by internet, I think your internet. Now, let me not say mine, because I think mine is okay. Your internet.
No. Your my my internet, I know we've got we experience, I think, this problem in Zambia.
Yeah, it is because most of when
We've got 3 network.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's even good that you said that. So most when you are maybe chatting with Zambians, you experience the same problems.
Now, before we just find that, because I think also time.
So basically that.
Because time is not on our side. There's a friend of mine.
Yeah.
I think
yes, Yvonne.
He's white. He came to a country. I'll not mention the country, but then he went.
Yes.
Developed some goalkeeping academy there. But the moment he left, he told me that country did not continue with whatever he built. So he felt bad about it. Do you think us Africans are kind of ignorant and do not appreciate what developments are brought to us?
Definitely, yes, Yvonne. I think that's a very, very big problem in Africa. We like, for lack of a better word, we like chewing money on behalf of especially the whites, or anyone who's trying to bring development to your country.
Yeah.
We've got such, I think, cases in Zambia, and it should be 3 weeks ago. A certain team, I think, from Livingston. I can't just mention the team, but also the sponsor. The sponsor, I think, is from Australia, if I'm not mistaken. New Zealand, but yes, New Zealand. He was also complaining. The moment when he was in Zambia, everything was just going on, and he went back to his country. But the time when he came to check up on the project, he found that there was nothing on that was going on. And apart from that, we also had the same case in Zambia, and it was even out there on social media platforms and these other platforms. A certain team from a mining town in Solwezi. That's where you've heard of Kansashi Dynamos, by the way.
Yeah.
That's where Kansashi Dynamo is coming from. There was a team called FQMO. It was sponsored by a mine. So, the sponsors started complaining to say, we are putting in a lot of money, but nothing was going on. And the only thing that people had to find out was that the people who were in the executive, the people who were in forefront, I think, were chewing the money. And like you put it, I think that's something that is, I think, more like a drug in Africa. Because someone is interested in bringing development in your area, then you ended up chewing their money, and you're not just benefiting yourself, you're also killing our talents. Especially we are talking about football right now.
Yeah.
Imagine if maybe there was going to be a lot of players who are going to be unearthed from such a club. Then once you just chew the money, that means that you've ended or you've killed rather the careers of a lot of players. So I think that's a very bad problem that we have in Africa. And I don't know how we can go about it, because transparency is not something that is in us as Africans. It's not just in Zambia, it's not just in Kenya. I know, Yvonne, you can laugh, but I'm telling you, because I've seen this a lot of, even not even about whites, even us Africans, even you, maybe just try to come up with a project where you want to start sponsoring a certain team. If you not be on the ground, if you guys are not going to be on the ground, basically 90% of your money are not going to go for the intended purposes. So that's a problem that Africans, I think, as Africans, that we have. But I think we kill a lot of talents.
Sure. We do.
Too much selfishness. Too much.
Too much selfishness, but we don't know how to go.
Yes, we are selfish. We are selfish as Africans. Too much. So that's a problem.
Okay. A lot of problems
I know
in Africa. But I think
a lot of problems.
Yeah, we can have another show, a whole 1 hour talking about how to solve such problems.
Yeah, exactly. I think I'm ready and there. Just try to invite me, and I'm so happy to feature on your program, Yvonne.
Welcome.
Okay.
Thank you very much for joining my show today. Maybe before I do the outro, maybe any other thing that before I close the show, maybe I might close, but then you have another thing that you want to share with the viewers. So I don't want to lock you out. Just speak it.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think my conclusion will just be, let's try to support African football. As we are into football, and we're just from talking about the way we are too selfish as Africans. That's not something that we should even tolerate and encourage. But oh, you know, we are going to do this for one goal and one purpose. You know, for me, my dream is to see a certain African company, I mean, an African country, making it to the World Cup finals, if possible, even winning it. And we can only do that if we are united and if we can just make sure that we develop the best in terms of the talent.
Okay. Thank you very much for
So
joining.
I think that was my conclusion.
Okay, thank you very much for joining. To our viewers, please don't forget to subscribe
You're welcome. You're welcome.
to my YouTube channel at Safari Soccer Show. Follow us on all our social media handles at Safari Soccer Show on Instagram and on Twitter at Soccer Safari on Facebook. Winford, where can we find you on your social media handles?
Pardon?
Where can the viewers find you on your social media handles? Maybe just
they can find me. On Facebook, Winford Kashiya, Instagram, Winford Kashiya, Twitter, the same. So I've not yet opened my YouTube channel, but I'm trying to do that. I think in the next, maybe, let me just in the next 2 weeks, I'm opening my YouTube channel. So on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, they can find. If possible, if they something that they want to find out from me, our company, Galaxy Football Consultancy, and Zambian Football, I'm ready for that, and they can just try to do that, or if possible, inboxing me.
Okay, and follow me also on my personal social media handle at Yvonne Eta. Thank you very much,
exactly.
And I think see you on the other side.
Yes, let's meet on the other side.
And before
Thank you, Yvonne.
I think I'll be giving out the Safari Soccer Show merchandise to random individuals. I don't want to tell you to subscribe or to do what so that you can win merchandise, but then I'll be giving it out to random individuals. So just try your luck. You might be the one.
And yes, and who do that?
Yes, will also
we are going to support.
I must give
yes
to bring you one because he's in Kenya, right?
Yes, you. Who?
Duke is around, and also Ian is around.
Oh, Ian is around. Yeah, you can give Ian when it comes to Zambia. I think he can deliver that for me.
Okay. Thank you very much, and see you next week, same place, same time.
Okay, thank you so much, Yvonne.